Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm ring Rue, hello, hello, hello.
And folks, another day, another Steel Division 2 game, and today on Sleuths East, we have ourselves actually highlighting one of our new divisions. Rang, tell us about it.
Well, on the left-hand side, in blue, we have ourselves Gensei playing as the new 5th SS Viking Division. And on the right-hand side, we have Goaf playing as the 44th Guard Strelocki Division. Both with Maverick income.
Interesting. So Maverick Income, I know there's a patch that just came out a couple days ago. What does that mean for our players today?
Some new changes of patches, the big one being Smart Orders, which is the ability to allow the ALA to command your units. It's actually a pretty useful ability, especially with artillery. A bunch of things, they changed heavy machine gun HP, they moved some stuff around, like police units are now in the support tab, they changed a bunch of infantry prices, tank destroyers have better optics, and I think the really big one that I think is huge is when bomber planes, like multi-role bomber planes, right, drop their bombs, they regain the speed and agility bonuses that the fighter companions do. Meaning that taking multi-role aircraft is actually a very good idea now, because you can just drop the bombs and boom, you got a fighter. A good fighter, yeah.
That's actually sounds like an interesting thing, and we're going to get started here. I definitely want to hear a little more about the Viking Division, because it's definitely new for a lot of our
hmm
players out there. But it's nice to finally see that the MA-109 fighter bomber becomes a true fighter after it does the bombing. So,
Yeah, because it's a bit silly after you drop the bombs, it still have that slow speed of having the bombs on it. So that's a very much needed change, I have to admit.
but in the meantime, of course, as we get started here, the Viking Division. So, do you take a Viking to the Viking?
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's a pretty standard German Panzer division. There's nothing too crazy going on. You got the new Stug 4 units and like the Berg Panthers, which is the transport panther for heavy artillery units. But the main gimmick is the ability to bring in a lot of infantry. It's just Panzer Grenadiers, Pioneers, and Stern Pioneers. Nothing fancy, apart from the cool camouflage they have. But you got a lot of infantry cards, which is pretty unique for a lot of German Panzer divisions, especially ones that like relic crypt with like Panzer IVs and, well, in this case, T-34s as well up north.
I am both astonished that these motorcycles did not have a chance.
Yeah.
Superiors and PPS just didn't make them the first victims of this particular match. Uh, we're seeing an opening here. Big push by the Soviets in I would say, the south central area.
hmm
Hasn't quite landed just yet. How is this going to stack up against what the Germans have?
Uh, right now we've got like a Pak 38 set up, and that's actually getting some good shots on the T-34. I mean, this is probably going to come down to pretty big infantry and infantry fighting. Nice thing with 5th SS is you can actually hold very well against infantry divisions with all the, pioneers that you can bring up, which is pretty awesome. Though down south, things aren't looking too great. Against these Jagdpanzers, you're just getting pinned down here by all of these Soviet guns.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to consider that there is. Well, wow, never mind. There's a Combrati behind. I was like, why the heck are you shooting at that? You can't really pen it from this distance.
hmm
But that Combrati, well, he has no real problem doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just like that central push has definitely helped out Gove quite a bit, just rushing in the PTRS and the Sampuri PPSHs in there. He hasn't really managed to exploit it, unfortunately, or really capture a flag. So hopefully he can do that soon, because Gensei is bringing up a reinforcement to Grill and 2 Panzer Grenadiers to deal with that.
I think we're going to see some slightly updated unit cards, it looks like, as well. The
hmm
silhouettes look a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, the UI definitely looks a little bit nicer now. It's also they changed the font, as you may notice.
Hmm.
So they've done a good job. They're slowly improving the looks of this game, which makes me happy.
Indeed, indeed. It was already a
Yep.
beautiful game. Let's see how much more beautiful we can make it. Always
Hmm.
sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, just get some more makeup. And that, on those T-34s. And all those tanks. Got to make them pretty.
Yeah, exactly. More lipstick on pigs. I completely agree. Um, I can actually kind of like the fact that actually Gensei gets the opportunity to have some T-34 85s early on. Now,
hmm
unfortunately, he's not really aggressively positioning them. He's way more concerned about that Jagdpanther, which is entirely justifiable.
Yeah.
And the super early Panther coming out too. How does
Very
that
early
come out for the
Panther.
card utilization for him?
I think you get 2 Panther Ds a card in A phase in general. I'm gonna guess you get 2. Maybe 3, but probably 2. They're just like the lower class Panthers.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They're not lower class anything.
Slightly worse Panthers compared to the others, but still pretty good. I mean, a Panther's a bloody Panther in the end of the day.
Ryan, I just received a memo for you. It says the unit commissar wants to talk to you. Something about seditious talk against the motherland.
You mean Fatherland?
Oh, no, no, no. Commissars did not exist in that army.
Oh.
I see what you mean, though. I'm actually kind of fascinated to see that there's not a whole lot of action to the north. I feel like there could be... I realize there's not the same breadth of flags to be taken, but can't help but feel it's being a missed opportunity by both sides.
Yeah, it's always happens on this map, is people usually ignore the north, and it happens with any area of a map, on any map, yeah, it's pretty open. People are usually pretty scared to push in it, I understand. It feels much more comfortable pushing in the more bountiful cover area of middle and down south, as, yeah, we got that Panther starting to get online, as Goaf brings up. Yeah, he's only got T-34-76s, so he's not going to have a good time against a Panther.
No, he won't. But at the same time, that mortar half track has got to get out of there now.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he moved back to a better position at least. The run down south could definitely maybe move south a little bit, just to get out of range of any potential T-34s.
Well, right now, Jagdpanzer to the south has been KO'd, slain by T-34-85, though he has broken his legs in the meantime. What I am surprised is that grill, those two P grounds that you were talking about before, have not aggressed to clean up this PPSH's.
Yeah.
It's at that house.
I think I'm just a little bit scared of getting too close. Yeah, I mean, there's like a few SMGs, of course, but the grill can... Well, grill can make short work of him, but if, you know, the grill gets a little bit too close, it'll get grilled by the Panzerfaust.
That's true. That is certainly true. And not just the Panzerfaust, but the PTRS is just going to just eat it for lunch, dinner, and breakfast the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But he is getting close, so here comes that kill you were talking about.
A little bit ballsy moving in the grill so close into a town. But yeah, he's just going to go around the corner. Yeah, it's a Panzerfaust, and...
Slight damaged.
Could have gone worse, but I think he's going to lose that Panzergren.
Well, that kind of attitude, of course he will. So one thing we need to talk about, my favorite kind of thing to be always referring to, what's the air power like for the Viking division?
I think it's pretty mediocre. There's nothing too crazy going on with their air power. I think. I can't exactly remember the entire air power arsenal, but it's nothing really to write home about. Same with their anti-air. I don't think they really get a lot of anti-air as well. They're very mainly focused more on the infantry spam, tank spam, gameplay of a Panzer division.
Now, the all-important question is we see our first air power coming on in, has it been nerfed?
No, they've still good to go. They really haven't touched AA at all, so his Gepard should do a decent job just keeping at Yak Array.
Well, one thing they weren't able to keep that Panther up, so he is down, but there's a Pak-38 who will go and claim a couple of kills in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to be a bit... It depends how like Gensei uses his panchers, because the problem with 44th Guard Strelocki is they really don't have a lot in terms of great AT. You only got T-34-85, 43 models, which don't have the APCR rounds. Your AT gun's pretty meh, and you do actually get quite a lot of ISU 152s, but that's really it when it comes to the AT department. And with Viking Division, you got a lot of Panthers, man, and also your Stug 4s, which are pretty well armored. So I'm thinking for Gensei, his best bet is probably just get some heavy tanks, move them up north, and just try to plow through here instead of playing more towards this central middle. The center is the middle, I guess, area where, you know, shorter range of those Soviet AT guns and T-34s can be much more effective against the German armor.
Cannot help but agree. Actually, right now he's got to get himself really moving here. We have 14-10. It was at 15-9 a second ago.
Yeah.
And every piece of German equipment that comes in has been getting knocked out or just critical to death.
Yeah, T-34-85 that came in just got completely slacked on by another T-34-85.
Well, other than that too, the mirror match to the north, has not exactly gone the Germans' way. I cannot help but
No.
feel it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, do I press this thing here, Hans, or this lever that says in Cyrillic?
The controls are in bloody Russian. Ugh.
Hence
Yeah.
my own confusion.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I'd be very confused too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got like a panther being brought in to try to deal with the north, but he could definitely use with some more infantry because it was 3 flags that he's lost in that like northern central position. Is not good at all for Gensei because those can be pretty easily taken back. It's just 2 infantry squads.
Yes, but seeing how aggressively he's moved forward with his armor, I cannot help but feel that we're going to see some more issues there as well.
Yeah, hopefully for Gensei, as Panther D can mop up these T-34s. It does have a better advantage at long range, but at the same time, Goaf has a lot of T-34-85s up north, so he can probably outgun the Panther.
True, but down south we are seeing the next Russian assault. And it's going to be a
Rushing in.
smashing success, too. There's nothing down there to keep, really, the Russians at bay.
Yeah, it's bringing up the Tank Decisive in 50 cal half track, which is always fun to see. Tank Decisive are they're not best infantry units, but the reason you take them is because you can get a 50 cal half track with them, and you can't really go wrong with American 50 cals, especially when it's on a half track.
That is certainly true, and the Crimson Tide continues to wax strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, so Ryan, actually, in the last couple of matches, did anyone end up giving you that divisional? Oh my gosh, what do you want to call it? It was that the pithy remarks for the divisions.
The
Was it
what do you mean?
the descriptions of the divisions? I can't remember how we were describing it last time. Now it's actually really quite sad. I'm getting to be an old man. Um, Describing the divisions in a pithy statement or so. It would come to me at all the wrong times. But the fact that you don't know what I'm talking about says that we didn't get a whole lot of feedback on that. No?
I'm sorry, I'm completely lost, Khan.
That's okay. You know, let's focus on the fight that's happening right now instead.
Yeah.
Jagdpanzer has been brought into the south. It's the second one, of course, of this phase, and now into Phase B. And he has to engage a light Russian gun, but at the same time, for some reason, despite the fact that the Jagdpanzer are about the size of a cat, gets loader critical again ridiculously quickly.
No, he's not having a good time with his Yank Panzers at all. He's bringing in. Oh yeah, I remember now the with 5th SS. You don't really get a lot of air power, but you got a lot of HE-111. So your only bombers are really heavy bombers, which is definitely pretty limiting. But you know, dropping big booms is always pretty nice to have. But ISO southern side has completely collapsed here for Gensei. I mean, just really good movement here from Goaf, getting all this infantry in there and just clearing up the town. But the HE run, yeah, he's going to be fine. The AA is going to cover his ass.
And between the flak, there we go. The flak takes him out by himself. Good lord.
Lord, very good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. We got like one Stern Pioneer behind enemy lines. He's very close to the SU-152. Can't kill it, yo. You know, flamethrowers unfortunately can't penetrate tanks, or you can't really do much damage. So
Say, it might be able to freak him out a little bit, but I somehow doubt that I really want to be in front of an assault cannon at less than 50 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Having ourselves a very Saving Private Ryan moment. Yes, sir?
At that point, Hans might as well just rush up to the tank, open the hatch, and, you know, shoot the flames right down the hatch.
Yeah,
Be a pretty terrific way to go.
Right. Even if he dies, he wins. Loader killed to the south on the T-34 Kamurati. That's the same one who was damaged before. I don't know if this is going to mean a dead... Nope, of course not.
The Panther has his number, so no T-34 man's back out just in the nick of time, so that is good for him. And yeah, Goaf, even though man's pushed pretty hard in this southern position, looking at a lot of his infantry options, they're pretty light. It's just like Tank Decisive, a few Safari PPSHs, like a guard unit here and there. It's not beefy infantry, so if Gensei can get out some pioneers, you know, Stern Pioneers and whatnot, he could probably take back his town, drop in a bit of artillery. He should be able to... okay, never mind. Goaf is bringing up a bunch of infantry reinforcements, and it's pretty heavy-duty stuff.
And a couple of tanks for that matter as well.
Oh yeah,
He
jeez.
also refuses to be caught off guard again. He's bringing in his DSU with those quad M2HBs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing I'm probably
Empty cows.
a little amused by is I forgot that the Viking division gets the Jagdpanzer S-276, so Russian material being
Oh
appropriated by
yeah.
the enemy.
Yeah, and we even got a Berg Panther being brought out with the 100 mil artillery gun, and that is just a funky looking vehicle.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the Recovery Panther has a has a bloody 20mm cannon on the front, like the most heavily armored 20mm gun in game.
It'd be kind of cool if the Recovery Panther could actually move, destroy tanks. That'd be freaking sweet.
Yeah, that'd be like clear a bridge, just push. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Double IL-2 stepping into attack running that Panther D. And they'll probably get at least a freak out, if not a kill here.
And right on the front, and there we go. Bang on hitch. The Panther D has definitely tasted the D, and he is now destroyed.
Certainly seems to be that way, but meanwhile, though, the Russians are going to lose the southern town, at least the outskirts of it, as Peagrens and Sturm Pioneers get thrown into the fray. Taking a look back at the center position, there's this constant thing where we have like one hero unit of German infantry trying to hold back the Russian hordes.
Jesus Christ. A Sapri PPSH car.
Oh, the one up to the north of that?
Yeah, he's just like holding this place all by himself. We've got a motorbike recon trying to spot stuff. He's probably going to kill the guard DP, so maybe that will close the gap on the Sapri PPSH. Yeah, Gensei's not having a good time against that 4-man squad. It's like Pavlov's house.
Yep, exactly.
PPSH.
Whenever the Germans come, they would salivate, right? That's the Pavlov we were talking about?
Yeah, exactly. We've got
There we
more
go.
IL-2s up north. Goaf going really heavy in terms of AT planes and B phase. And
Well,
is
he's
this
going
double
for
rally?
both of them. Can we double kill? Oh, thank God. I think at
Damn.
that point I would have cried a little bit for Gensei.
Yeah, like, yeah, those have been very, very effective. Usually, AT rocket planes are kind of, but, you know, it's frontal penetration on the Panther and the T-34. Didn't kill it, but it's going to open up for the other T-34 to, you know, slay a traitorous brother.
Their traitorous brother.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to
Traitor
judge the
legions.
I said let's try not to go and judge the the fallen too harshly.
Yeah. Yeah, 5th SS gets quite a lot of T-34-85s. Do forget about that. I mean, don't blame him. T-34-85s are pretty good.
I would tend to agree, and that really makes me cringe a little bit saying that. But you know what? I have to admit it someplace. With that Burger Panther SK-18,
You need to unload the artillery.
I'm sorry?
You need to unload that artillery.
Yeah, I was like wondering why the heck he's not done that just yet.
Mm-hmm. And now with the new smart orders, you don't even have to micro your artillery. Or you still want to, but if you're lazy like me, you can just put it to, you know, automatic fire. And they do a pretty good job, honestly. It's not that bad.
Well, it becomes the Wally of Steel Division.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Southern Town is getting shoved back little by little, and not for nothing, we're slowly seeing perhaps some German resurgent in the center. Never mind, it was a P4.
Oh, yeah, SU-152 just completely stopped all the Stern Pioneers from getting anywhere close, and now the T-34's going to come in, try to get some quick surrenders. So yeah, Goaf is doing a really good job holding. Like I said, he doesn't have the best AT, but he's playing to his advantage. He's playing more short-range, medium areas, where his T-34s and small AT guns can do their magic. And he hasn't... Yeah. I mean, honestly, for Gensei, like I said, moving up north with some heavy tanks would probably be his best bet.
Well, the Henkel is going to go and get completely shreked to the north. Meanwhile, this other one's going to get pulled out pretty quickly. Probably going to go down even from ground fire.
They're pretty tough planes. They should be able to get out.
That's true. I mean, I have heard some really incredible stories. I've been listening to a History of World War II podcast recently.
Hmm.
I've been hearing all about the Battle of Britain, and honestly, I cannot help. My heart breaks every single time I hear these stories of both sides going up. It's incredible just to hear what those guys went through.
Oh, it's pretty crazy stuff that happened in the skies.
Certainly, certainly. SK-18, the 100 millimeter, is finally shelling. It looks like he's aiming for anti-tank positions in the ZSU. Probably going to do pretty well there.
Yep. The 100 mil is always a great precision gun, as it is. I mean, it has 45% accuracy, which is fantastic for an artillery piece. So it's great at just knocking out, one unit at a time, but very effectively at one unit.
Judging by some of the accuracy nonsense we've been seeing here, geez. So the German stuff must be consistently at like 20% accuracy, depending seeing how much they've been missing recently. Um, it says 40, but I think it's one of those like hidden qualities that you see.
Hidden stats that you see just doesn't actually, modify. And the Russians got himself a big old Run 22, so up in the caliber quite a bit. That's a nice thing with this division. You do get some good like proper heavy artillery pieces. You're not just delegated using Su-76s and Katyushas.
That's true. That is certainly true. And that barrage has already killed his first target. You've already, drop it, Jim. He's dead. But as the game goes later, because we're approaching Phase C very quickly, what does it look like late game for the Viking division? Do they sail off into the sunset? Do they have a burning ship? Or what goes on?
You can tool Viking. It's one of those divisions where you can tool it for early gameplay or late gameplay. So you got a good amount of cards. I'm guessing for how both are set up with their Maverick incomes, they're probably not going to have a lot of sea phase cards, so it's going to start dying down a little bit in terms of the attritional warfare. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Gensei's actually done a pretty good job pulling it back to a trove. He just needs to actually start capping, a bit more flags for him. And Goaf, he just needs to hold. He's doing pretty good. He has time on his side.
Yes, he does. Now, one thing we are seeing here is that we're seeing a lot of light crits happening over here to Russian vehicles in the first shot. It seems that the German vehicles prefer to just give up the ghost pretty darn quickly.
Yeah.
The North continues to be rather I don't know, I was going to say innocent, but it makes absolutely no sense. Very, very quiet by comparison.
All quiet on the northern front, yeah. Like I said, people just never really bother pushing too heavily up north. I mean, you've got Gensei really should try to exploit it. I mean, just some heavy tanks, 2 Panthers or whatnot. Just knock out your T-34s, bring up some Panda Grenadiers, and just, run across the open field. You can get some pretty easy flags here.
Oh my god. Will the anti-aircraft tower... Anti-aircraft take it out in time? No.
No. I think the anti-air definitely saved that T-34 by causing those IL-2s to become rather inaccurate as they go close to the designated target.
Well, these dual Gepards just got kind of brought in as well. But down to the south, a bombing run and artillery has been able to freak out the Russians enough that we might see something here? No, still very tentative play overall.
Definitely could use more artillery to hit this southern area, because it feels like Gensei is pretty close, in a sense, to knocking out this southern area. I mean, all of Goaf's stuff is pretty close. You've got the mortar half-tracks just doing phenomenal work, as mortar half-tracks do.
Well, the 2 Strukes coming on in as well. The assault guns themselves are not really well placed in terms of their initial jump-off positions, but we'll see what happens and develops from there. And just IL-2 after IL-2 strike. Terrifying to a certain extent. The anti-aircraft gun is going to get shelled in just a second here. I don't think he's going to be able to fight him off.
It's starting to make me ill.
Boo.
And damn, yeah, go. Knocks out anti-aircraft gun. Really good target hit, yeah. That's going to definitely give him a little bit more breathing room. Just looking at this now, Gensei's starting to get out a lot of armor. He's got Panzer IVs, Panzer IVs, Stug 4s, T-34s. A lot of units, end in the number 4.
Well, looking back to the north, though, he's still not able to really do a whole lot with it. They keep
Yeah,
pinging things off back and forth. The transmission damage on the T-34 to the north, the Yog Panzer's up there as well. And he can't seem to hit the broadside of a bleeding barn.
yeah, yeah. Like, there's T-34, you get a few of those T-30-45s in 44, which is pretty nice. They're not the best. I mean, only the 8043 model, not the 44, so they're not the best in long range due to lack of APCR. But, yeah. Yeah, they're holding pretty well. Actually, yeah, I mean, 43s aren't that bad compared to 44s. I believe APCR does less penetration at max range. But yeah, I not the best in terms of long range AT is what I'm trying to say in total.
Gotcha. But regardless, it is now 13-11, and even as another Hankel comes in, it's going to get completely wrecked by ZSUs. No, the ZSU is not going to be able to engage it quickly. Bombs away, and this might be enough to kill the supply truck, maybe? No, but he does completely scare
You know,
the Southern defense, so now has to be the time to push, my friend.
yeah. Knocking out supply trucks now in this patch is an extremely valuable thing to do, as they've nerfed supply truck availability by quite a bit. You get a lot less supply trucks now, so it's just much more important when you kill one. Much more effective. Oh, IL2 up north going for a pack, and the pack got attacked, but it's still gonna survive, as the IL2 lacked the firepower to knock it out.
Yeah, he didn't really give it up or pack it in.
Mm-hmm. God damn it. Yeah, but Gensei feels like he's slowly regaining momentum. So it's just grinding this like southern middle area. I feel like it's the artillery is definitely helping him out quite a lot. Goaf does have 120 mil and 122 millimeter guns, but his mortar is currently out of ammo, so it's not exactly being all that effective. And yeah, the Stugs are actually, and the Stug and Panzer IV in the central side is actually knocking out his T-34s one by one. Actually doing some effective firepower.
Oh, they should be, man. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. The Strooks here are, I won't say born to do this, but certainly
Those
are
German
better
guns are
equipped.
pretty accurate, man. Those nice Pack 40, 75 mils. Same with the Russian one. I think the Russian T-34 guns actually not that inaccurate.
No, but it
That's
feels like it
40%.
sometimes.
It does.
IL-2 to the north was able, was that going after again that Pack 40? Pack
It's
38?
like same accuracy.
Down south, only a couple shreds of defense before the entire thing falls apart. But Pack 40 being brought into the center, which I think is a nice aggressive posture. Especially as the Starkovy does fall off quite a bit. I think he's massing himself to take the north. See, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 platoon worth of tanks to the north, a couple of guard squads kind of moving in. Yeah, I think Goaf's kind of getting rocked back on his heels. Of course, I say that, and that's when a P3N with recon gets completely nerfed.
Yeah. But, yeah, this is a good push in the middle from Gensei. Good use of artillery to pin down the guard squads. And, I mean, in terms of infantry quality, Gensei definitely has the advantage. The Panzergrenadiers and Pioneers are a bit more well-equipped compared to your regular Soviet guards. But at the same time, the whole Soviet meme of just having raves of men, and you do have raves of men, especially when you can get like 27 guards in one card in C phase. That's a lot of units to guard with.
It's a meme for a reason, though.
Yeah.
Now, one thing needs to happen, though, is that the Germans desperately need to take out that ZSU in the center.
It's definitely making a bombing strikes much less than accurate, but the ZSU is getting really close. Getting a little bit scary of how close it is. Hopefully at Pack 40 and Gensei can maybe get the snipe on it. It's gonna be a little bit dangerous due to how close it is, but we'll just have to see.
Certainly be the case. Meanwhile, two IL-2s come back in again. They're making they're going to make a gun run on that Strug. I think it's the right call, and judging by the way that Strug is oriented, I don't think he's going to be able to pick this out.
Yeah, gonna get a lovely side shot. Oh, it's turning. There we go. These IO2s have been on point for Goaf. They've really like using them in these double teams is making them extremely effective.
And that was
Just
without
like
even using the Rangroo no
oh, the
fire trick.
oh yeah, I don't think it works as well in ST2 unfortunately, but I think it still works where if you turn the rockets off and only turn them on when you're getting close.
I have to mute this a second here, as now the ZSU down to the south,
Oh
the
yeah.
last Soviet defender, is going to just wreck everything right around it.
That's a great thing about having 450 cals. You can shoot stuff in the air, and by God, you can shoot stuff on the ground. A Panzer Grenadier squad is a Panzer Gun squad.
Well, I almost am kind of fascinated how that half track is like doop de doop de
Dude.
doo. Like,
Yeah, I'm actually surprised the M17 hasn't like shot at him. I guess it can't penetrate technically. Even then, you know, just it's a half track.
certainly is a curious decision.
Yeah, the
Artillery
Soviet
piece goes down, 2 IL-2s come back in again. Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
no, I was just say like yeah, 122 just got completely dunked on.
Going after that Yog pension out the IL-2s.
Jesus
Jeez.
Christ! Dude, to be fair, these IL-2s, they are being pretty effective, but it's a rather costly like investment getting like 2 of them out at a time. You have to knock out like 4 to 5 tanks to really make your money's worth. Like medium tanks. Like those Panzers and Panzer IVs, etc. But they definitely have paid themselves off in this match, for sure.
Oh, they certainly have.
And Gensei just hasn't been able to really get the air, like anti-air game up. He's got like a few 20 mils. He's bringing another flak filling truck, but yeah. And things are back to Trove. Goaf has managed to reinitialize points, and he's actually his northern push is going pretty well, almost capturing this forest. The Panzer Grenadiers are gonna actually hold him out. This guard TP squad may be able to provide a bit more of a fight. But at the same time, the Panzer Grenadier does have better cover.
Well, and he is going to get some support as well. Yog Panzer is going to engage, as well as another P-Grunt squad moving on in. So, stylish there. Also, I don't think that the Superiors are going to move across the open field anytime soon.
No, they're probably pretty happy in that nice sort of farmstead.
It does seem in the meantime, though, the Germans are trying to... I'm not going to say aggress, because people are trying to aggress everywhere. But I think they're just trying to take a collective bit of breath. I feel like everyone's just like, okay, we've swung constantly for like 25 minutes. We need to build our forces back up again.
Yep, and with both sides being Maverick divisions, they're probably starting to run low on just material now. So it's probably getting a little bit hard on them. I'm actually very interested in how Gensei has set up his deck, because he doesn't really have any heavy tanks. You do get a lot of Panther cards in 5th SS, but he's opting more for the Stugs, the Egg Panzers, the Panzer IVs, rather than, you know, the full-on heavy armor German meme of, you know, yes, my Panthers are legitimate medium tanks. What are you talking about? No, that'd be fine. Yeah, it's working-ish, but he's definitely taking quite a lot of casualties due to that, as it has, you know, with the T-3045 that Goaf has, it's a pretty even playing field between him and like the Jagd Panzers and Stug 4s in a head-on fight.
Certainly seems to be the case. Now, that Berg Panther is actually engaging at the front lines, as I find this highly amusing.
Oh yeah, it is. Actually finally moved up. Great unit to have on the front lines. 20mm guns, you can't go wrong. 80mm on a 20mm gun, or 80mm of armor, also 20mm, even better. It's like a kangaroo can. Better. It's like a better kangaroo. I know.
Austria, or Russia for that matter.
Don't tell the Canadian division I said yet, but it's better.
Well, I won't tell them if you don't tell them. It'll be fine.
And no, everyone watching this video, we're gonna keep us all down low. Good.
Which means
I can trust you guys in the comments.
Post it to Reddit wherever you can as soon as possible. We are going to watch that Berg Panther. We're going to try to engage a T-34 over here in a second with... Oh, never mind.
Boom.
And orders restored to the universe.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a Russian push coming to the south. 4 guard squads. Not much of a defense in the meantime. I think that's why we are going to see a P4 being brought to the south of us, a grill. There were a couple other German vehicles being brought on in. It takes forever for them to get there. And it doesn't feel like a particularly quick division.
Yeah, the grills are like just slow in general due to that big gun. Yeah, that's just, you know, German armor eventually gets to the front line.
Yeah, one would usually like it to get there this season before the
Mm-hmm.
Baptiste comes on in, but yeah,
Yeah,
each their own. And shooter killed from 2 kilometers. That always makes sense.
you see 34 is getting some pretty good hits. At the same time, to be fair, they do have the exact same accuracy as the as the Panzer IVs, which I actually didn't really realize. You always think of like the Russian, like, oh, the Russian guns are inaccurate, but no, I mean tank
Oh no.
guns were pretty accurate overall in the Second World War. The whole joke of Soviet guns being inaccurate was tank sights were shit compared to other countries.
Well, and not just that to a certain extent either, too. But I feel like I'm just watching this, and this is totally observation bias. But I feel like the Germans are shooting like you are in the first couple of rounds of XCOM. Where you're like, they're all
Yep,
recruits, and they're like,
yep.
which end do I put to my face? Is it the one with the barrel? Yeah, pull the trigger, and you miss everything.
95% chance to hit,
Oh yeah.
miss.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the goddamn Finn man is like 2 tiles away. Like, come on,
Well,
you
he's
can
thin
you
for
can
a
hit the
reason, man.
bus.
This isn't like True Lies.
Yeah. Oh, the 111s are coming in, and they're gonna be dropping in a bunch of bombs on a
Yep.
bunch of Russians, and this is gonna be a great bombing run. That's just perfect targets. Knocks out the AAPs, and the infantry just got slacked, so that's gonna give Gensei a little bit of time. But I I have a feeling that Gensei is out of infantry.
Holy moly. 4 ILs to the north.
Whoa! Soviet air power just coming in for round two.
I was like, there's got to be at least one kill there. I'd be very
Mm-hmm.
surprised if it wasn't. Anyway.
Because we don't see any infantry really being brought in down south from Gensei. He's just bringing out more tanks and stuff. And, really, infantry definitely be a much better option right now.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't always see that kind of success, do we?
Yeah, but I just think he's completely out. So that's probably that's not ideal. Having infantry is usually a pretty important aspect to winning matches. And wars in general.
Yeah, as much as we might malign them, without
Mm-hmm.
boots on the ground, you can't do jack.
Yeah. How is he gonna hold a building? Oh no, there we go. We got a Panzer Grenadier being brought in. But just one and a half track. He just needs to fight off, like, a platoon of guard squads. He'd be fine.
Been kind of unfortunate, not really getting a whole lot of really good trades here.
Hmm.
Though we are seeing the inevitable superiority of a two MG42s exchanging fire with guards in the open. Like, we know this is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And more the half track, continuing to just put down lovely fire. But it's not gonna be enough. Gensei's just a little bit outnumbered at this point. As Goaf has managed to play the attrition game just a little bit better. Just a little
Which
bit
is
better.
weird to hear because 44th isn't always going to be the deck that you think of when you think massive
Yeah.
attrition.
It's replays definitely put a much lighter, a much more like positive spin to 44th. Because I always thought it was a pretty crap division, frankly. But I'm seeing a lot of
Yeah.
people starting to play it now, and even though like 44th is like the very very basic Soviet division, there's nothing fancy about it. There's no cool units, there's no KVs, there's no Cossacks, there's no IS-2s. It's just all the basic Soviet stuff. But by God, it works. It works really well, even without ISUs and just regular SG-152s. I mean, Goaf is doing a good job. You have no heavy AT, but you just don't don't engage in open areas. He's doing a really good job with this division, and I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-ba.
He's coming it. Um, But in the meantime, actually, the one thing I'm finally realized, we actually do see a combat squad over here from Goaf. I don't feel like I've seen a lot of leadership being used by Gensei.
No, not really. That combat squad's been there for like a long time. He actually almost lost it at the start of the match, but he did pull it back just in the nick of time. But yeah, we haven't really seen many like angel leaders or real like infantry leaders on the ground too much from Gensei. Where I've been noticing with Goaf, I mean, he had the artillery leaders down south for the majority of the time, and some others spread out here and there.
Trying to take a look at how he's moving into this town here. We have two Peagrens, we have a Pioneer, excuse me, Sturm Pioneer.
Mhm.
Might be able to get a little bit of bleed here, but I think you are correct in noting that all the Russians have to do is just trade lives for time.
Yeah, yeah. Like, the tank engagements have definitely been on Go's favour. He's been doing a fantastic job knocking out pretty much all the armour that Gensei keeps bringing in. But looking at this now, Gensei might be able to actually, like, push this southern area. All the guard squads are no longer guarding the front because they're all dead. So really, you just have to deal with, like, his T-30, like, two T-34s in the town. But that might be a little bit harder than said, as they've been just an absolute pain in the ass. Oh boy, here comes the Soviet air power.
Yeah.
Only going after infantry though, so that's going to save that Stug 4. And honestly, that's probably for the best. The infantry barely took any damage. And it's going to be very important for that Stug 4 to get, kills on the T-34. In a town, oh, actually,
Six
T-34
superior
might
squads
get
being brought in.
surrenders. 1, 2, oh, that's brutal. Losing both those Panther Grenadiers. Stug's trying to chase down the T-34, but he's not going to get...
He's going the wrong direction.
Oh, no, he's aligning. He's got line of sight, but, no turret kind of makes it a little bit slow.
Oh, wow. He actually got
There you go.
essential kill.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly
technically.
what he needed.
Well, they bailed out, and then now the driver's been killed, so...
It's like the
Whatever.
second driver, every T-34 has, like, a second driver. When the first one gets, like drunk. That's like, yeah, pretty shit joke.
That's okay.
That's just like, it's just a little bit too, like, the whole Russian drinking stereotype.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's a little bit too easy. Think of all these Saparis which are coming in, because that's a lot of superior, and those are really tough units to fight in towns. Just usually.
Yeah, they certainly are superior.
Yeah, all those SVTs, man. All
Oh
those
man,
SVTs.
come on, I couldn't get that one. All right, fine. All right, that
Oh,
was my best.
I get it now. That's
It's
pretty
too
good.
late. It's too late.
It's too late. Too late, yeah.
Now the stroke might have a field day for a couple of seconds, but there's so many of them. I feel like just human wave tactics would be more than enough.
I mean, Stug's gonna be safe at least, as the Sepiri don't have really any AT capabilities. But it's just gonna be dealing with all of them. He does kill one of them in the trucks, but yeah, it's gonna slow down Gensei from pushing through his town. This has been really back and forth. I mean, Gensei's now taking the lead, 13-11. Like, this is still really anyone's game. And we're like 41 minutes in, which is pretty rare. Where it's still like so back and forth.
I think if they can get onto the stroke with the TNT, they may not kill it, but they'll freak out enough to get a surrender.
Yeah. It'd be
And
really, like, cool if it... I don't know how rail would work for mechanic, but if you could, like, get right up to a tank, you could blow it up by throwing the grenade down the hatch.
Oh
Like
yeah, we have theorized about that. I don't
Yeah,
know
like-
how
like
that
in,
ever happened.
what's it called? It's gonna... Brothers in Arms, there we go. You could do it on
True.
Brothers in Arms.
True.
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan.
Well, we haven't really been looking at the north too often. We just continue to go back up to the sea. That yep, all those tanks are still firing at each other.
Yeah, it's...
Yep, and now the supply truck's dead too. We've had almost full supply, which is really going to be painful.
That's pretty bad, and like I said, you get less supply trucks now, so you really don't want to be losing them. But it just looks like a Napoleonic line battle up north.
Which more IL-2s to the south, and with that in mind, the stroke goes down, which means I would say it's just pretty much The end of German ambition.
Yeah, with the new Saparis being brought in, it's just Genji is pretty close to taking that southern town, but I think he's still winning. He's got a 14-10 lead, and that's just due to his northern push, which is actually right. It's kind of working. I feel like Genji's losing, even though he's winning at the moment. That makes sense.
Well, we are going to see it's going to be 13-11. Very soon it's going to be 12-12. And then we're going to be seeing 13-11 the other direction. I don't see it happening. Honestly, I don't see this ending successfully. Of course, now that I said that, watch it end successfully.
Mm-hmm. This is still really anyone's, like, Genji is holding, but he's so close to, like, losing. He's meant to recapture the flag on the hill and middle due to his Panzer Grenadier push, but there's a lot of guard squads shooting at him, and that's not usually ideal.
Not especially when they're in cover like they are.
Yeah, the half track is helping out quite a bit. Actually getting some, helping out, like, shooting stuff with its machine gun on the half track. If you were to get a half track and cut it down, like, horizontally, would it be a quarter track?
I think it really depends where you actually slice it. Depends on how you slice it. You say right down the middle?
So, if you cut it down, like, vertically, so it's, like, left track, right track?
Oh, at that point, I call it a motor track.
Motor track, yeah, it'd be like a quarter track. But if you cut it down, like the race, or, like, the reels, like, the driver's compartment is cut down in half, and the back half is the transport half, the front of it would just be a car, and the back of it would just be, like, a track. So it'd be, like, half a car and half a track.
True, but at that point, why have an engine? At that point, I put a guy inside, I put a machine gun in it, and I call it a tankette.
Yeah, good old Italian tank.
Or Polish, for that matter.
Or Polish, yeah.
But, unfortunately for Gensei, had he been able to resupply that SK-18, I feel like that would have been such a force multiplier here.
Yeah, it's just a little bit out of ammo. I mean, if he wanted to, he could move it up to the front and use it as an AT gun. Feeling a little bit ballsy. It's a pretty good AT gun, yeah, too. I think it is, in terms of accuracy. Yeah, it's actually pretty good accuracy. It's actually not bad.
The Hinkles are looking to push back this soft push that's coming on in from a couple of T-34-85s and ISU. I think... Oh, for some reason he's going off the supply truck. That's an interesting decision.
We got ourselves a runner!
It's dead, Jim.
Oh, he's gonna miss the supply truck, yo. That's such an old talk. I understand why, but, like, as we know from the God view, the supply truck's pretty much empty. So, probably not the best move.
I'm amused by IL-2's been brought in to shoot down the Henkel 111s. It's like, never mind, we'll just bring in some rockets instead.
Thankfully, it's not much AA on the field, so Goaf can just come back round and find a nice target. Like, once again, his IL-2's has just been on point. I'm really looking forward to see their kill feed.
Oh, good. I was waiting for it to be another kill here, but nope. That was
got two more.
Oh,
Never
wow.
mind.
Okay.
And yeah, it's gonna be a GG as Goaf takes the victory, and that was a great match. Both sides really gave it a complete back and forth.
Well, one T-30-45 picking on some infantry and light vehicles. IL-2's got 5 vehicle kills. It's got to be more than that. I feel like there's been 6, 7. Yeah, I mean
that's pretty good.
Those guys, I feel like those guys were the champions in this match.
Because he just knocked out all the Gensei's Panzers, and once you knocked him out, there's not really... I mean, it's a Panzer division. They really rely a lot on those Panzers to do Panzer things, and it allowed the T-34s a bit more free operating room to do their T-34 things, which is blow stuff up with their cannon.
Certainly well done on both sides. I don't know. I agree with you. I feel like we didn't know which way that match was going to come out. I think, like you said, an attritional game, it favored the Russians.
Yeah. Just... I mean, deck-wise, I'd say, like, just in terms of infantry, Russians usually have better attrition. I mean, a lot of guard spam. But also, like, both just did a fantastic job knocking out all the Genshi's tanks. That was phenomenal, just picking them all off, run by run by run by run. That's great. That's great, especially for more later AT divisions such as just as 44th. I feel like against I do like the play of not like using a lot of heavy tanks like the Panthers and Tigers and just going with like more medium tanks. But I really feel like he really could have used with more Panthers because in that northern area, get some Panther Gs. They pretty much beat out T-34s. And you just push heavy up north. I mean, at the same time, you have to still deal with the IL-2, so more AA would help out as well. But yeah. But both sides played that great. I really don't have much to complain about.
No, other than the fact the IL-2s were just gods among mortals. But in any case, I know we have ourselves another real ripper of a game coming up on Thursday, so I guess I won't say too much more. Have anything last words?
If this SS Viking Division is a Viking Division, shouldn't they be part of the Kriegsmarine? Because they like going longboats.
I'll have to ponder that for a second. They certainly went up in smoke tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
But folks, until next time, ponder that thought. That's the question for next time. It's your homework. But until then, I'm Conulric.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.